News, my lovely, wonderful people. An Edo man gives full explanation on what is happening to Philip Shaibu. Says it is only receiving what we call karma. That is this full karma for Philip Shaibu. When you plant somebody on when you plant something, on somebody, and guess what? It turns right back on you. Okay, you think you've succeeded, you think you're already thriving, and all of a sudden that same thing comes right back on your footsteps. And it's just like what you plan for somebody else is not staring you in the face. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. In December of 2023, this is the Edo man speaking. I sent the Right Honorable Philip Shaibu a couple of interview questions for which, for this was just after he declared his ambition to be governor of Edo State, and his quarrel with Obaseki, how it has escalated. The new former deputy, the new former deputy governor did not respond to the questions. Neither did he acknowledge them. I was not surprised a fortnight after to see him on television responding to his own questions. Most politicians have preferred media houses. A shame, and prefer to pay huge sum to respond to their own questions. I have introduced this contest as a way to be able to check any assumption and sympathy for Mr. Philip Shaibu. So now let's discuss. The gist out there is Philip Shaibu was overly ambitious, was was a distraction, and was disloyal to the governor Obaseki. I guess disloyal idea stems from the popular lingua in Benin City that if you are not loyal, you will suffer. Mr. Philip Shaibu served in Obaseki's administration and particularly in decision-making process. Prior to that time, he was a patriot and very close ally to Oshomole. What you are likely to observe as a physical manifestation of Mr. Philip Shaibu Hiro's worship of his mentor is in the ambition of his mentor dress code. At the time that Mr. Oshomole supported Obaseki against the ambition of his deputy, the gist is that they attracted they attached or Philip Shaibu to Obaseki, just the same way Obaseki has attached Mr. Ogono to Mr. Igodalo, his candidate for Edo governorship election. But you know what? When it comes to a choice between Obaseki and Oshomole after the deal fell apart, Mr. Philip Shaibu pitched his tent with Obaseki. He even went as far as asking Oshomole to offer an apology to Obaseki. Well, you may say that he did not. He did this to gain the trust of Obaseki and for Obaseki to reciprocate and support him to be a governor when the time comes. Many people says that Mr. Philip Shaibu was the battle axe with which Mr. Obaseki fought most of his epic battle. The movement from the APC to the Edo House of Assembly to impeach Mr. Obaseki, which Philip Shaibu does make sure that that did not escalate. But after political jamboree, Nigerians found a bit heavy to carry. Most times is why governors almost always shut the ambition of their deputies, is that these deputies will eventually replace them as political godfathers. It is often said that leaders who fail to support their assistants to be like them are the perfect example of failures. As a political godfather of Edo State, Oshomole fought his deputy, Mr. Odaudu, and installed a former candidate, a preferred candidate after what he wanted, Mr. Obaseki, who rebelled against him. Oshomole ran back to Mr. Odudu to try to, you know, to persuade him with lower employment. It is the same thing in Rivers State going on now between Wike and his former his former attorney general, Fubara. You can see how these things are escalating. That's to tell you that Fubara will play an active, what's happening to Fubara is playing an active role in what is going on in Edo State. But the truth is, Edo politics appears a lesson in karma that in spite of political ambition, you don't beat the fingers that fed you. Oshomole has said to Philip Shaibu, you are only reaping the seeds you sowed. And that is why Oshomole has stayed back and out of everything happening to Philip Shaibu. Everything going on between him and Obaseki, Oshomole have decided to be unavoidably silent. Philip Shaibu thought Oshomole would stand with and for him. However, he's gotten the mistake of his life as Oshomole has decided to be silent and to watch him suffer for the consequences of the decisions he made. Nigerians must know that political fight is between the people, and when you interfere, you may be making a serious blunder and mistakes. They know how they settle themselves. Wow, what a way to conclude it. They know how they settle themselves. Philip Shaibu, said some very words then to Oshomole. And by the way, we're not saying Oshomole is a saint. No, that's the least. We're not saying Oshomole is a saint. But Philip Shaibu stood with Obaseki against Oshomole, and ensured that he fought Oshomole with all strength that is gotten, just to ensure that he puts Oshomole in a very, very awkward position. But guess what? The same Philip Shaibu now is getting more than he has bargained for. And whether you like it or not, it is turning around for him to really see that, like the adage goes, you don't beat the fingers that feds you. And so everybody's watching very carefully and we will see how all of this will play out. In politics, we really hope that we get good and better leaders every time. It's just a shame that people, no matter what, still succumb to, allow themselves to be used by the same selfish, ambitious people who have nothing planned and prepared for this nation to move forward. However it will be, we must continue to support good governance, and whoever you're supporting in this election, make sure you are supporting the person, not the political party or whatever. Support the individual that has the potential and the capacity to make your state better, that they have the interest of the state at heart, and they will do what is right and what is best for the people. So it is what it is. Please don't forget, you are important. Like us, share, subscribe. God bless. Bye for now.